Hello, hello, hello. Sports Injury Central Pro Football Doc podcast recap week 6, sort of. There's still 2 games tonight. There's some stuff that we can talk about for tonight, but boy, there's a lot of breaking news, injury news, other news. We were just talking this morning. Mike Vrabel, quote, revenge game, Patriots against the Titans. Do you think it becomes a bigger deal now or less of a deal?
Yeah,
Brian Allen's been fired. Do you think it now is a bigger deal or less of a deal?
I feel like they should have maybe waited till afterwards, because now it's just like, this is all I'm seeing on Twitter right now. Vrabel fired, Callahan hired, Callahan fired. Like, it just looks like now it's more magnified that they're facing each other.
I don't know if it's more magnified or not. It might have been more magnified with, look at his success, look at this guy's failure, and they're still there. Now it's just because they fired it obviously early in the week, it becomes a footnote.
Okay.
I mean, there it's like, I think it's less.
Okay.
Because the Titans have basically admitted they've made a mistake now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, think about this. And I actually was just tweeting when you got on because I'm not good at this, but how do I do this? I was going to tweet out the copy link address. Who might be the new interim head coach? Mike McCoy, former Charger head coach, been a coordinator around a while. He's the only head coach other than Brian Callahan's dad,
Bill. Yep, yeah,
Bill, who's on the current Titan staff that has been a head coach. So it's not going to be Bill Callahan. I mean, that would be the irony of all ironies. But they haven't named one yet, but I have to guess it's Mike McCoy.
What do you think happened though? Like, I mean, they've had some injuries on, each side of the ball. I saw Jeffrey Simmons even today. They asked him like, what happened yesterday? He's like, it started at practice. He's like, just being honest, this is probably one of the worst weeks of practice. So I guess everything just snowballed. And on top of that, I mean, if the Titans had a healthier team, maybe there'd be other stuff going on. But obviously, they made that decision. And hopefully, like you said, it'd be clairvoyant if we get Mike McCoy. That was your 32nd podcast, by the way, Doc. It took me a little bit to find that one. That was before my times. That's 2018, I believe. That was when you had VSiN's own the Greg Peterson, who does a really good job on the college basketball. He was your producer at the time.
Before you got him fired?
I didn't get anybody fired, no. 2 situations I wanted to talk about, Doc.
I'm tweeting out now. Is this the new Titans interim head coach?
Hey, you tweeted out. Good. Yeah. Tell me your thoughts, Doc, what you saw about
I'll leave the dad part alone.
Don't mess with the dads.
I'm not messing with the dad. Okay, but here's my point. Let me finish this off.
Yes.
The story would have continued to go if Brian Callahan was the head coach. Look at the dysfunction. Jeffrey Simmons said this. This would be a number 1 storyline. Mike Vrabel coming in with things going well. They fired him here. Here you go. Now the Titans have admitted the mistake. So it's a story on Monday, but by Sunday it becomes a footnote.
Right.
In my opinion. Let me use an analogy. The biggest story last night might have been the fight trumping the game, Kansas City winning, until Dan Campbell did what? Said, he shouldn't have done that. I told him that. I love the player, Brian Branch. He can't do that. We're not going to do that. And I've apologized to Andy Reid and Juju Smith-Schuster. They've admitted the mistake. If all you had out there was Brian Branch saying, well, he blocked me in the back, so I was getting him back, the back and forth would still go.
Keep
because
going.
Dan Campbell, look, we're wrong. I'm the head coach. We're taking responsibility. This shouldn't be. It's a 24-hour news cycle trickle until the fine comes out and it's done. This is a less of a story now, Mike Vrabel coming back there. It's instead of revenge game, it becomes triumphant return.
Okay.
In my opinion, but what do I know?
Before we have someone in the chat, Doc. Someone in the chat agrees with you. They said less of a deal too. So yes, what do you know? You know, right?
Well, the storyline was revenge game. Look at Brian Cannon. Look at Mike Vrabel, and he's going to show.
You could side by side. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
this kind of thing. Now it's triumphant return. Different angle.
For sure. Since we're going, before we do the updates, tell me what you saw on Mike Tomlin and Andrew Berry this morning. We always thought that was an interesting trade within the division, but I didn't think anybody would speak on it. But Tomlin did speak on before their Thursday night football game.
Look, I don't doubt that Andrew Berry made a smart decision for his team. Mike Tomlin doesn't like it because he's got to play Joe Flacco.
Right.
That's why Mike Tomlin doesn't like it. And I get it. It didn't make sense to Mike Tomlin. It obviously makes sense to Andrew Berry. Now, what I find interesting about it is the shot might be or the comment of, if you believed he was your starter, why would you trade him? That's the comment. That's starting to get into other people's business. And let me give you an analogy. In the NFL, it's very unusual for one team to get into someone else's business. It's a no-no for one player to get into the money contract of another player when you're on the same team. It's a no-no for a player to kind of get into some other team's business. I don't know what they're doing over there. They're not very disciplined. No, this is coming at another team, right? That used to be one of Belichick's rules. Talk only about yourself. Right. Don't talk about anybody else. Don't talk about the other team. Don't talk about the offense when you're on the defense. And you're on the D-line, don't talk about the linebackers. Talk about you, He didn't say don't talk. He just says talk about you. Don't talk about anybody else.
Right.
Tomlin's talking about somebody else. You know what that reminds me of? I called something out this weekend after the Brian Daboll sideline stuff. And you see how it's picking up storm? They're saying there's going to be a fine. I don't know if there is or not. The NFL is going to try and do something. But the head athletic trainer of the Houston Texans the day after made a comment on Twitter. It's on my Twitter timeline. Scroll down. And I said, basically he said, this happens at all levels of sports, including high schools, and the head coach shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. Okay. I'm paraphrasing. I like the Texans head athletic trainer. I think he's correct. When it happened in real time, I put out debate between head coach and head team position. Medical should always win. And I'm not saying Daboll influenced anything, this, that. It was a bad look. I'm not saying he said, put him back in the game right now. I think he misunderstood. You're out of the tent, so is he good to go or is he not good to go? I got pressure decision to make here. Come on, let's go. What are we doing here, right? That's probably what he said. But he doesn't realize he's a team ortho.
Right.
He doesn't do that. That's like yelling at me. I'm not in the tent. I might poke my head in the tent, say everything going okay. Coach needs to know. But just because I'm out of the tent doesn't mean he's cleared, right? And I think that was the misunderstanding. Like, hurry up. Like, is he in or is he out? Like, you're out of the tent, but he's not the guy making the decision.
The one doing it. Yes, exactly.
And my point is, the head athletic trainer of the Texans was 100% correct in everything he tweeted. I agreed with him. I corresponded with him a little bit. I just made the comment, it's unusual for one team to talk about another. Roland would have never talked about the Giants medical staff. That's for sure, because he's medical over here. Don't throw any stones. And he wasn't. He was just saying, in general, this shouldn't happen at any level, including high school, and it does. And he's right, but you're still talking about NFL brethren, which is where I was like, oh, this is very unusual. This comment about Andrew Berry is unusual because of that. You're talking about his decision-making and whatever. It's unusual. And basically, he's just not happy he's got to face Flacco. He'd rather face Browning. I think that's interesting.
So, Doc, sticking to the...
That's all I'm saying. Commenting about another thing, and there's different examples on it. It's usual.
Sticking to the unusual, we talked about it already, but we talked about how when they release an 8:30 inactive report, 99% of the time, those players are the ones that are out. You don't get any news. So yesterday, the Colts gave us two. We talked about Richardson and Ward on the podcast. Just reverberate what we talked about on the earlier one.
It's unusual enough to have a Josh Simmons personal issue, can't be at the game, and the Chiefs still won. That's unusual enough. And as a last-minute reporting, he was maybe even flying back. I still don't know. I have no idea what happened in his personal life, and wish him the best, his family the best. I don't know. He is a San Diego kid. I think he was in San Diego, but we're not trying to break any news. It doesn't matter. I hope everything is well with him. That in and of itself is unusual enough. But then to have two weird instances on the same team, the Anthony Richardson broken band thing, did he slug himself in the face when the band broke? I don't know. He was at the hospital. Doesn't sound like he needs surgery, but he's out several weeks with the orbital fracture.
Right.
That's crazy in and of itself. But then that concussion, Chavarius Ward, and here's the worst part about it. Not only should it never happen, the schematics of who works out where, that third string tight end should not have been in that area, period. It's one thing if the play continued all the way to the sidelines. I mean, he walked out onto the playing field. And there was no games going on, but you have to know people are warming up. And you got to know where you're going and whatever. As I said before, even on the sidelines, there's places where I'm supposed to stand and I'm not supposed to stand. I mean, there's sort of like just, it's like when you're in a busy kitchen, there's places you can stand and there's places you can't stand when you're a server, right? I mean, you can't just go everywhere, right? I mean, it's mayhem, but like controlled mayhem.
Controlled mayhem, absolutely.
If you're the greeter, you're not standing in certain areas at a restaurant out front, right? I mean, you're anyways, enough said. But here's the worst part about it. Chavarius Ward is going to be out for a month. This is his second concussion this year. And with Kenny Moore already with the Achilles, I mean, this is the, pardon the pun, Achilles heel of the Colts right now.
Yep.
Kenny Moore's Achilles, that Kenny Moore's out, and now Chavarius Ward likely a month. And the Colts won, but it was a little closer than it probably should have been.
Like you said, their offense has no holes right now. They're playing efficiently with Steichen. It's about, like you said, the defense right now is their.
I love Shane.
Yes, yeah, he's doing a very good job.
I believe in Shane.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job with Daniel Jones and everybody there. Yes. First update, Doc. You saw Puka Nacua. It was foot. It was ankle. You explained last podcast that it was maybe the tendon that wraps around, wraps to both. Tell me what you saw with the new news today.
Medial, it was an ankle sprain. Okay, so that's like what got sprained. The tendon, the ligaments, as it wraps around, is what it is. Non-surgical, not long-term. I think McVay updated it to be day-to-day, correct?
He did, day-to-day, he said, yes.
But we all know day-to-day means more week-to-week. Okay.
Here's the deal.
Yeah. They're in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And they're stayed in Baltimore. And they're flying to London to play who?
The London Jaguars.
The London Jaguars. I joked about that. But, non-divisional, non-conference game. Jacksonville's got a good team. Look, if it were a divisional game for the division, late season, they would push Puka to play. Let me get 70% Puka out there, even as a decoy. Look at what Puka did this game. He was hurt. He's as tough as can be. He was carried off both shoulders, barely putting weight on it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he'd come back. He did come back. We were wrong. He came back. He's Puka Nacua. He's a hockey player. He came back. But what did he do? He ran 5 plays. He was a great inside slant decoy to take pressure away from Tyler Higbee on the outside. Tyler Higbee scored a touchdown on that play. And Puka did a little mini dance, pressure on his right leg, not his left ankle. And there was another play where he was a decoy. There was another play he was put his body in the way blocking on one leg. And there's one play that there was actually a route, and that was the only route he actually kind of ran. 5 plays, and he didn't do much. But you know what? He's part of the 46 that are active. He's suited up, and Puka's presence on the field makes you pay attention. So he did that for his team. Was he really going to catch any passes? No. I mean, look, if I would have known he was coming back from our halftime show in game, I'd have said, take whatever Puka under yardage you can get in the second half. It would have been zero.
Sometimes they leave it open if they're not ruled out. Correct. Yeah.
Yes. Whatever you can get in the second half. I didn't think Puka would come back, but he came back, but he's a decoy. So next week with this game in London against the Jaguars, and then what comes next? A bye. Puka's not playing this week. I mean, if Puka's 80% and he continues to improve, he's not playing this week. They want him closer to 100 after the bye. Based on the injury, based on how he looks, he's not playing this week. Now, could he force his way through? But the circumstances, they're going to say, take the time. Look, I don't think he would make the trip to London normally, but he will this time. Why? He packed for the trip. The team is staying in Baltimore after they played the Ravens. They're leaving from Baltimore to go to London after practicing a few days at Camden Yards. The rehab's all there. They have temporary training rooms. The doctors, the athletic trainers are all there. What's he going to do, fly home and be the only one at the Rams facility? There's nobody at the Rams facility right now.
Right.
So the Rams are on the East Coast right now, so he's going to stay with the team. And then I suppose on whatever day the Rams go to London, he could decide, well, I'm going to take a commercial flight or rent a jet and fly back to LA. Or is it just easier to go with the team? And Puka's a team guy. So because Puka's going to go to London, he won't get ruled out till game time.
Right.
If he didn't make the flight to London, he'd get ruled out as soon as he didn't make the flight. So Puka's rule out will be late, but he will be ruled out for Sunday is our belief.
Just a question though, if you were the doctor and you were making this decision, you would lean and tell the staff, the 3-prong decision making, you would try to lean and say not to play just for better off for the season. They're 4-2, non-divisional, like you said.
No, stay in your lane. Head coaches need to stay out of the medical tent.
Yep.
And doctors need to stay out of, well, it's a non-divisional game and you're this, that, the other. That's not your lane.
You're not going to say any of that. Okay.
That's like me the coach sticking his head in the medical tent. No. Okay. My lane is, this is where he's at. This is he's at 70% healthy. He can't run certain routes. This is the chance of making it worse. An extra week, especially if we pair it with the bye week, we'll get him to 95%. That would be the safer route for him medically. No. Matchups and division, that's not to come out of the doctor's mouth.
Not at all. No, I got you.
Look, I don't call plays. I mean, and they, right? And like we had on the halftime show is funny because I talked about stats and you gave me shit. Like, I guess you get to do injuries. And
I was just messing with you.
Stats. I know you were, but everyone has their role in NFL. It's very defined. Don't get out of your lane. Don't be talking about, well, given the matchup this week, we probably could win without Puka. You will get your head bit off by the team and the head coach. Like, what the F do you know about, I mean, look, no, sir.
That's one of the first things you told me, Doc.
You do not say that.
Say that. That's one of the first things you told me. I remember I was like butthurt about it. It was like our first couple of weeks working, and you're like, Taylor, don't say anything about medical. Let me do that. Just do the journalistic side. That's what we're doing. I was like, damn, I'm just trying to help. I was like all sensitive about it. Then I was like, very good lessons. 7 years later, I totally understand it. Yeah. Yeah,
but no, let's say it's a non-divisional opponent, so therefore they already freaking know that. Don't
tell them they don't know.
That. Yeah. I mean, that's why they get paid the big bucks. I mean, the kindness, they'd look at you as a doc and say, "Thanks, doc, but just give us the medical opinion." That would be the kind way. But I might have got something else if I would have said that.
Yeah.
Norv, friend of ours, this, that, the other, investor, the whole deal, helps us there. If I would have said it to Norv when he was the head coach, he would have come back with something smart. He goes, He goes, "You want to help us draw a new play for him then when he comes back?" And be like,
right.
he would have said something like,
hand you the clipboard, be like, "Dear Doc, it's your time today." That's funny.
He wouldn't have said anything mean. I mean, he would have said something. He would have said, "Yeah, can you help us draw some plays for his today, this week?" Or it's like, no.
We had a question, Doc. Next one, just on the Buccaneers wide receivers. Buccaneers update. Egbuka, I saw him. He pulled up with the hamstring. I saw people say he looked good in the locker room and stuff, but now they're saying he will miss time. Like you said, not a 1 week hamstring. And tell me your thoughts on Mike Evans returning back to practice this week.
It's the merry-go-round. Okay. Wait, before we get there, Tez, that kid, he is hilarious. Completely hilarious. Well, I'll keep going here. I think I lost Taylor. We'll wait for him to come back in. I saw his locker room interview. They said he caught his first touchdown pass of the season, and he's like, "Yeah, they're chanting MVP." I was like, "Dude, I haven't done anything." And one of his teammates said, "No, that's for Baker." I think that's hilarious. I don't think he was joking. I think he was a moment of honesty. I was like, that's pretty funny. But look, this week, no Evans, no Godwin, no McMillan. Egbuka was only one of the top 4. Of course, Baker trusts the other guys, and it's Baker Mayfield. But now, no Egbuka, no Godwin, no McMillan. Evans won't be 100%, but he might be forced into service to try and do something. Mike Evans being forced into service this week, potentially. Just by Mike Evans' hamstring, I think the answer was probably no this week until Egbuka got his hamstring. So Mike Evans is Puka-esque. We've seen him play through hamstring before, in injuries before. I think Mike Evans will be on the field. Will it be Mike Evans, 100% healthy Mike Evans? No, but if he draws the number 1 corner, that helps him.
Okay.
I mean, they need Mike Evans this week, even if it's just for a decoy. The respect that Mike Evans has. Mike Evans, I believe, will suit up this week.
And we mentioned, too, in the last pod, Doc.
It's 6'4" to be determined, but it isn't going to be in the 90s.
Like low 80s, maybe still yellow, yes. Godwin's still out, Jalen McMillan's out, and Egbuka. So, like you said, this
talked about that when you took your time out.
Yeah, I was a planned exit. My laptop was dying, so I did a secret little tech thing. But let's go on to the next one, Doc. CeeDee Lamb. We had Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. They I feel like they go in the back end and they put like a white, little gown on, and they just go back and forth and they choose which week they're going to talk medical stuff. This week they said CeeDee Lamb potentially back this week, along with other reinforcements, including the right guard.
Wait. What do you mean they pick the week to talk medical? They talk medical every week.
It's just either Stephen Jones or Jerry. They just pick.
Stephen and Jerry is prescribed to the no news is bad news, and they name another owner. I don't believe there is one. Now Jerry would say he's the GM. Okay.
Yes, he would.
But name another owner or GM, and I don't know the answer to this, but this will be the question, that does regular weekly radio.
Mm-hmm. Name
one owner or one GM that does regular weekly radio.
I will say one I remember. Rest in peace. I believe Jim Irsay used to. That's the only one I believe may have done it. I don't want 100%, but that's one, yeah. But no one else, though, right now. No one, yeah.
Andrew Berry doesn't do it. We only bring up his name because, we just whatever.
Brought him up. Yeah.
John Lynch has a little bit of media accessibility as the GM. I will give it. So there's a few GMs. Okay. There's a few GMs, but no owners. But when Jerry's talking, are they interviewing Jerry as the GM or are they interviewing Jerry as the owner?
Both.
I would say they're interviewing him as the owner.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he has the owner. Yes, both, but more owner. And
right.
And Stephen Jones, are they interviewing him as a GM or owner in waiting?
Owner waiting.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that Cowboys Netflix thing. Norv Turner was all over it.
Yes, he was.
I really loved.
They did a good job.
The answer, and they chronicled how the Cowboys have had their failures now. But they asked Stephen Jones about the succession plan. And I thought he had just the most marvelous answer. Look, it's apparent what the succession plan is. Stephen Jones is the guy that's been groomed to do it. But he's like, he teared up and he said, I'm just enjoying every day here with my dad. I thought that was just a very touching, honest, and great answer. Props to Stephen Jones.
That's a great answer. Yeah.
He's like, succession plan. I mean, he didn't even say that. He just, I'm just enjoying he teared up. So I'm enjoying every moment, every day here with my dad. That's a great answer.
You wouldn't hear that at all. Yeah,
anyways. He says could possibly, of course. He's on the active roster. He could possibly.
Not an IR, exactly. Yeah.
Puka could possibly. We don't think he is. Right? Egbuka could possibly. It's only media that says he's missing time and us.
Yes, yeah.
The team hasn't said it. Okay. Yeah, you keep hope alive. Will he? I don't think so. Another week, maybe. I got to look at the Cowboys schedule. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, we'll look at that just one second. Next one I want you to talk about. We had a question from one of our listeners, Doc, and is on our list too. JJ McCarthy. So you have Wentz now suffering a shoulder injury in the last game. They had coming off a bye. You have McCarthy, who was said is at practice in some capacity, according to head coach O'Connell. Tell me your thoughts on the ankle, the hiding behind health, and everything going on with the Vikings.
I saw it this weekend. Someone was saying it's going to be interesting, a national media person. It's interesting to see what their decision is. Okay. Let me tell you. What we said from the get-go. There was some hiding behind health. That the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell are very smart. This was the smart decision because you don't want to put, I know he's not technically a rookie, but essentially a rookie playing out there. 2 games, 7 quarters of struggle, 1 quarter of good. And with a high ankle, you can do that to Patrick Mahomes. You can't do that. And the Chiefs have. He won a Super Bowl on a high ankle sprain. But you can't do that to youngster JJ McCarthy. And so Carson Wentz, is the high ankle 100%? It's 90-something.
Right.
Are the Vikings going to continue to hide behind health and say, JJ McCarthy's not 100% yet, and we're going to ride with Carson Wentz? Or are they going to say, he's in the high 90s, that's good enough for us, we're going back to JJ McCarthy? They haven't been bad with Carson.
And it's not his throwing shoulder. It's his left shoulder.
Ankle.
No, for Wentz. Wentz is dealing with
Wentz. Oh, yeah, Wentz.
So it's not like his throwing shoulder, so they can still.
Yeah. Wentz is a viable option. Honestly, that who starts at quarterback is a coaching decision, not a medical decision.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy will be cleared to play. It is a coaching decision. If the coaching decision is to go with Wentz, I'm quite sure they'll cloak it in his ankle's not 100%. And there's truth to it. The ankle won't be. But most quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks in the league with an ankle at 95% get the start. Will JJ McCarthy? It's a question that only Kevin O'Connell can answer. And like, I can't say enough. I'm not second guessing Kevin. I think he does a fantastic job. So anyways, it'd just be interesting to see.
I had a question from from tonight, Doc. Dalton Kincaid and Deebo Samuel. Tell me your thoughts on both of their injuries and how they should play, if not tonight.
I think Dalton Kincaid, I'm hopeful, will be 100% and full go. Deebo, I'm not as sure. No, I'm doing that tongue in cheek. I'm doing Stephen Jones speak, coach speak. I'm very hopeful Dalton Kincaid is 100% because I still have him in my Scott Fishbowl, and he's one of the key guys today. And he was questionable, but he's the guy that I'm playing, and I don't know that I have any other options if he gets ruled out at this point in time. So that's why I said that tongue in cheek. Now, oblique, I do think you can play through, but you also play through the heel for Deebo. Now, no Brown, no Terry McLaurin this tonight.
So I used those two players I put in our 6 score. We have the start sit tool that we have at 6score.com, and the player edge has Deebo Samuel. I will say both of them have a positive player edge. Both of them are looking to have good games tonight, but Deebo has a plus 13.71 player edge, Doc. We also take account.
And that's also off of usage, right?
Correct. Yeah, the wide receiver.
Our confidence in Deebo's heel being okay and playing. It's about the O-line. It's about the pass rushers on the Bears. It's about the DBs on the Bears, and it's about his health, but it's also about the health of, or lack of health, of McLaurin and Noah Brown, right? That's how the player edge is unusual. It's not just about the player. It's about the people around him, how it affects them.
Last topic I just want to talk a little bit about the Thursday game. We talked about Tomlin, Andrew Berry already lighting fires before the game. Trey Hendrickson, they said they got a good result on MRI back. They said it's not a long-term issue, though. Is this something that is too close to game time for him to play, or is this something he can play through?
Well, by video, we didn't see anything horrible. By nothing bad, they mean no fracture. By nothing bad, they mean nothing structural, no herniated disc. The question is the muscle strain and spasm. Is he going to make it? Harder on a short week, harder for a D lineman like him, not impossible. And part of it is, look, I think Trey Hendrickson's a good guy. Okay. We all know about the contractual squabbles. Okay. How happy is he? Okay. Think of it this way. Think about you, Taylor. If you were not that happy with your job or how you're getting paid, and you're sick and you're borderline coming into work, are you coming in or not coming in?
You're not
versus there you go. Versus happy with what you're getting paid, happy with your bosses like me, which of course you're always happy with. So this is why you never miss work. I just joking. Now, I don't know. He's happy enough to be on the field, but is he happy enough to push through he's not faking injury.
Yeah,
is he happy enough to put his body at risk for the team? It's a question. I'm not saying he is or isn't. And it easily could be he wants to, but his back isn't good enough to. So I'm not disparaging him, but I'm just saying sometimes that plays into it when it's a borderline decision on whether he can go or not go.
Like right now he's playing with the boys, having fun playing football. But when it's something, maybe a little injury, now it's like, is it long-term, like a health-wise thing? Now, like you said, it's other factors and get involved in your brain.
And they didn't extend him long-term.
Right.
They gave him more money this year.
It's like the Chris Jones contract from last year. It's incentive-based. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I mean, I think it's possible for him to play still, but remains to be determined.
So the Raiders play this week, Doc, week 7, and then they have the Chiefs, and then they have a bye week 8. Tell me, this is a question. I'm just reading the questions off the chat now. Tell me your thoughts on Bowers and what he should look like after the week 8 bye, which means it would be a week 9 potential return.
Good. So you stole the thunder. I've already said Bowers ain't playing this week because the bye's coming next week, right? We said multi-week as soon as we heard the report of bone bruise. I think he's ready to go. And once again, I can't wait in my tight end heavy Scott Fishbowl. He was my number 1 pick.
Who's your number 2?
Number 2 was Josh Jacobs.
Oh, no, I mean your number 2 tight end.
My number 3 overall pick, George Kittle.
That's my next question. What are your thoughts on his availability coming back? Yes, I mean you have a team that's averaging like 300 points a week, and you're not even using your top 2 tight ends. You're just taking advantage of the tight end.
Well, I mean, look. Scott Fishbowl, for people that don't know, it's a 3.5 point premium for a reception for a tight end. Mm-hmm. Wide receivers and running backs get 2.5 points, and you get the yardage, and you get a point for first down. So, I mean, I got Brock Bowers, George Kittle, Jake Ferguson, Dalton Kincaid, Dalton Schultz,
Michael Mayer on the bench.
I have Michael Mayer behind Brock Bowers. I mean, I got Hunter Henry. Who else do I have?
And you mentioned positionless, right? You mentioned positionless, so you can start 8 to 9, 10.
Positionless, other than quarterback, right?
Yes.
So literally, I've got like 6, 7 tight ends at 6, 7 tight ends every week starting as the cool
You
kids.
do that. Yes.
Yeah.
You're hip now.
I just learned from my 12-year-olds. I don't know what it means.
Just a quick one, Doc. I don't have anything else. There's no more questions here. Quinton Johnson, last one. Quinton Johnson with his injury. Do you expect him to return for the Chargers this week?
I think he was close this week, so yeah, I'm hopeful that he can. Yeah.
Okay. And then Amari, on this same game, just real quick, we expect Calvin Ridley to miss this week. He had the heat on it. He eventually took it off, didn't return to the game. Not expected to come this week.
I mean, I think he probably misses this week. He wasn't immediately ruled out. I think he probably misses this week. Have they named a new interim yet?
I've been waiting because I want us to be right. So.
Well, no, but that's unusual too.
To not do it immediately. It's usually in the same statement. I agree with you. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Especially when it's not like you're on a bye week. I mean, you need clarity in the building. They're working on game plans. Who's answering to who? I mean, right? And I don't know. That's unusual.
The admin up top already released a statement too, and I was reading the whole thing, and they didn't put anybody's name in there either. So yeah, like you said, it's still being worked out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, usually it's someone who's within the building because it's too tumultuous otherwise. I just can't see dad taking it. It being offered to dad or dad taking it. You fired my son? I'm not coming. It's just why? I mean,
he doesn't leave too, right? He stays. It's professional to stay. He doesn't leave with his son just because his son got fired, right? Or what do they do in that sort of situation?
It's a good question.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's professional to stay. First of all, do the Titans want him to stay?
It's true. Yeah.
Second question is, does he want to stay? The first thing to drop is, what do the Titans tell him? The Titans want him to stay or not? The Titans may say, you need to go too. I don't know. Now, if the Titans say you need to go too, you got to pay him. Now, if he says, I don't want to stay, and he's resigning, he doesn't get paid. Or it could be the standoff. Yes, I'm here. And let's see. Now, if Mike McCoy is named the interim head coach, I would assume he's got a good relationship with Bill Callahan.
Yeah.
And he'll say, Bill, yeah, you're staying, right? You're stay for me. Come on, I know this is a raw deal. And all Mike McCoy has to say is, and it's going to be true, like, sorry, Bill, I certainly, I wasn't trying to become the interim and get rid of your son. I mean,
I'm part of this. Yeah, exactly.
Opportunities in life, right? And Bill Callahan's going to say, yeah, you do you. I mean, no, you didn't force your way out. You were trying your best. Now you'd say, well, why would you have Mike McCoy? He hasn't been a good head coach, and per se, at least per people. He did lead the Chargers to one playoff, I think, maybe more. And he's the OC there, right?
He's he's like a coordinator, like a not a like something like that. Yeah.
I don't know who the OC and DC are. Maybe one of those get elevated. Sometimes they elevate the special teams coach. Why? Because he touches
everybody.
All 53.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know who's going to be the head coach, but we'll see.
He is a senior offensive assistant, by the way. Any other insights, any other news coming out? We'll have insights at sixscore.com. Six Picks had another good week. Guaranteed pick hit, Doc. Just go to sixscore.com for anything else. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we've been doing pretty well. I mean, good week, guaranteed pick hit. We're well ahead on our season-long guarantee. We're close to 70%, right? I mean,
yes,
hard to think of that. Our 6-year history is at 56.5. No, we'll just keep doing what we're doing injuries. We had a lot of cleanup work today, too. I got to get with you shortly here after patients. So we need to get all the numbers updated for this coming week.
People want their numbers. Yes, sir. All right, Doc.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.